Well, it's about a couple days later, and I'm deciding to do this recording. This might possibly be, with the exception of a ChatGPT, further conversation and analysis I might want to do, actually, about all this recent stuff now, which was going to culminate in what we will see here in this video, which is even more insane and shocking if you didn't think that things could get any worse. If anyone in the world at all would think that, oh, this is at least maybe getting things off on the right foot, so to speak, that it's going to get better. No. Remember Tuesday on the 10th of October? We got this, "Hi, I want the best for you always. Please understand it. Your well-being is important, very important. The answers will be done this weekend. No more delays." You remember that nice thing? This was her own substantive way, as it would appear, to, try to reverse the wrong course. Yeah, try to offer something of value to the person's heart who you're speaking to, so you could try to nourish it, so that person can let his guard down, right? Ha! Here's the new knife. Ha! Is what you will see now coming up. You think this is crazy or crazy? Which one? Is it insane or is it insane? Tell me. Check this out. And you know what? Again, funny too. Also, just see here, she said also after this, which we already saw in the previous video, also you should have all your diagnostic tests done here, since you need the diagnosis here. Who hired this woman to be my to give advice on me about any of this? You don't know what you're talking about. I don't need a diagnosis here. I need a diagnosis, period. Okay? I get a radiology scan anywhere. Shut up. You don't even know nothing what the fuck you talking about. Shut the fuck up. No one's asking you for your advice. You're fucking level 0 retardation to the max as far as I'm concerned. No one is taking advice from you. You're literally halfway to what my Alzheimer's grandpa is, it looks like. You're absolutely decrepit. It's 0. You're worthless. Emotionally speaking, for sure. And then a factory, no, this is garbage. You think, be careful if you think my reaction is over fucking reactive. No, it's not. I'm in the state of mind that I am now after reading exactly what came after this, which we find about 72 hours later. Now on the Friday the 13th, this came in here. This, which followed what I wrote to her, which was already featured in the previous video, plus a little bit of extra stuff that I was writing as a follow-up, mostly more what we could consider to be administrative stuff on how to properly manage and handle this in a way that's not so fully contentious. At the very most, I had written in addition to suggest to her pretty much as to say, listen, you might have said you're not watching any more YouTube videos. Obviously, I can't take that serious, in essence. You probably do mean to state that you are watching the YouTube videos. I'm going to assume that you are, and so therefore, letting her know this is what I've posted, and this will be the complete content. This is relevant for you to understand what's going on, and it's posted up there just so that you know. Now, well, here's what we get in response. Here we are. Hi. My position on the YouTube on your videos will be ready on Sunday. Okay, so it sounds like a promise, which is consistent with what we've seen since all the way back in the beginning of very early September. So we're almost a month and a half late on what she indicated would be letters that she wanted to hand to me and to Anthony, which she wanted to do right there, which of course, as we all recall, this was not offered upon any condition, right? Let's just check our memory and go back to previous videos if we need to remember, especially what was featured in ChatGPT's conversation, which indicated all the details, and all the other videos we did. Yeah, that's right, there's no condition. She just said, no, if someone's defending themselves, they want to defend themselves. There's no conditionality attached to that, of course. So we continue on. It proceeds then, nevertheless, to state, despite everything I said multiple times about warning, listen, stop controverting, using this text line to make drama and poke out new recurring issues new or recurring issues to take my peace away from me, that's a serious offense. Don't do that. Don't drive your son crazy. You're at fault when you drive people crazy. That's your fault. That's not their fault because they became crazy. No, you did that to them because you provoked it. You're karmically liable. God stomps on you when that happens, not me. Do you understand the difference? Good. Maybe one day you will, I hope, a little better than you do now. Do not forget to remove all the videos from YouTube by Saturday night. My mind is just blown forever. I don't even have the heart to just even say the words fully anymore. I'm so like trampled upon, like a carpet that's been walked on forever until it's just got no quality left. That's what this is. It's just, you think I care about you? Here, remove the videos. Remove the videos. I don't respect you. Just do what I say. You're a slave. Do what I say. You're a slave. Fucking go to hell. The deepest level is for you. Why? Because as it was indicated in Dante's Inferno, the deepest layer of hell is for those who engage in any kind of substantive betrayal of any kind, which is what you have in fact been guilty of in a huge sense, in a very material and relevant way in these whole matters. And then you still keep this stupid shit. I told you not to fucking do this crap. You know how pissed off I am? Everything that's coming your way karmically, you deserve from God. May it land on you. Everything He has for you may find you quick. I hope. You deserve nothing good until the day you repent. You deserve nothing. Not from me, for sure. I follow God and what's written in the Bible. What the hell do you follow? I'm tired of this shit. You deserve, like, decrepitness. I hate you. Stupid fucking woman. You're for garbage, you fucking piece of crap shit. Stupid fucking woman. Decrepit in the brain. You're ugly in the heart for fucking dreaming to fucking treat someone like this. I told you not to fucking do this. I wrote to you many times not to do this, and then you just keep doing it anyway. You deserve every evil and hatred you get, you stupid woman. Permacrush. Fucking get ruined. Stupid woman. Just for this. Stupid woman. Fucking ugly. You are hell. You are hell. Hell. And you know what? Make no mistake. I'll bring up something somewhat relevant that's been crossing my mind a little more often lately. You understand? Funny. You always used to, so that the audience understands, that my mom always used to talk about how, oh, you know, your father, oh, he was doing cocaine. He didn't tell me. We got married and he didn't tell me. A few years, a couple years, and then all of a sudden I found out. So then it goes on to say, oh, you know, then things didn't work out. So, you know, we got divorced. And then I went and I divorced him. Yes, bad man, did drugs. I had to go divorce him. You know, every time I brought this up to my father, the very few times it ever came up in our whole relationship, my father, who my mother didn't even come to his funeral, disgusting. What excuses is available for doing something like this? And they have one son, and there was only one father to that son. You never apologize, you act like this. No problem, that's okay. Life, just any other day. Well, the few times anyway that this come up with my father, he actually kind of pulled me aside, and he was generally very respectful, surprisingly even, of my mom. Almost always spoke well of her, because he knew what it means to show that kind of thing in front of the son. You see? Because it's very damaging. He was way socially and emotionally smarter than my mom is. Okay? It actually stuns me. The older I get, the more I see how well refined and his understanding was. It truly boggles me. Growing respect for that man. Every year or so that I get older, I think more. I'm like, wow, oh, we didn't give him enough credit. That was one smart man. And not an evil person either. I'll say this. he used to say, look, John, you know, the way your mother's making it sound is like, you know, I was this bad guy, then she went and she divorced me. You know, I hate to really like bring this up, he would say to me, but multiple times, and he'd say the same thing every time that this came up. Because a few times he felt it necessary to correct me when I was bringing this up. He said, you know, it wasn't her who left the marriage. Which completely contradicts kind of the picture that, of course, my mom wants to frame. Because any woman wants to say, oh, you're the bad one. Oh, I'm leaving you. You're the one who's being punished by my leaving you. Oh, you're the bad. It's all frame control attempt. My dad was standing there. He was saying, I'm the one who walked out on her. That tells you everything you need to know. Now, 30 plus years later, I'm looking back and I say, yeah, I get it. I get it too. I want to kill myself too if I was married to something like this. I'd fucking want to leave. There's zero emotion or passion or anything. It's just deadness, coldness, non-highly nourishing connection. Just, you might as well commit suicide if you're married to something like this. Jesus, poor guy, my father. I'm so sorry. He said other things too that are even worse that I don't even want to say because it's so bad. It's one of the, nothing's off limits with me, but even this is one of the things I don't even want to say this because it's so crazy, but very revealing of how everything makes sense. We'll just put it that way. So, poor guy. And now back to this issue regarding my mom. This is not normal caring behavior. I reject it entirely. I want no part of it. I promised there'd be consequences. I specified what they were, and then I gave her an extra chance, and then she still shat on that and just doesn't care. I'll say it again. She's not in the moral right by any angle whatsoever. And this is clear to anyone who's looking at this. I'm tired of this. So the stupid woman gets what she deserves. We continue. Do not forget to remove all the videos from YouTube by Saturday night. If you want to proceed and get the full understanding of it, get the full understanding of what? I'm going to do a quick commentary as I read through, and then I'm going to do a little further commentary based on some notes I've been compiling, digesting this crap and writing about it a little earlier. Alright, and then there might be another video just to do ChatGPT's take, to show ChatGPT's position on this all. If I decide to do that, it'll be posted. Otherwise, that's it. I've pretty much mostly said my full piece on this, because this is hell on earth. This woman is not a normal woman because she's hurtful. Look at this and see if anyone desires to be in my shoes. If not, it's because she's making my shoes the difficult position to be standing in. So that's why you're wrong, Mom, because you're not allowed to do that as a mother to your own son. Clear as day. It continues. But to address this, to get my full understanding of what? Your justification and your argumentation and explanation that defends your own self as to why you believe you're right? Depriving me of that doesn't hurt me. It hurts you. I don't think her brain is working, this woman's brain is not working so much, it seems. How does this hurt me or benefit you to pose this in this way? First of all. Second of all, where she continues on to say, this condition was already given to you before. Hold on a second. I don't understand what that means, given to me. You don't give any conditions to God, nor do you give any conditions to man if you didn't consent to it first. So I don't know what that means. You give me the condition and then I become enslaved by the terms of your condition because you made it up. That's the same narcissistic mindset and approach that was evident in the cancellation of the meetings from early September. It's canceled because I feel like it. And then here, you're going to remove them. Why? Because I said so. Because I put the condition, not because you want to or agree, because I said it. Okay, so there's no actual agreement that this is the case. So the condition was given to us before. It doesn't matter what you gave or offered. There's no contract or agreement if two sides don't accept. I never accepted that this would be the condition, or that any of this makes sense. Nor is it naturally the case that this is sensible by your natural standing and position in the absence of my agreement. So what mindlessness is this? Doesn't make sense. It continues. If the removal is not done, I will give them to third party to evaluate the situation and will follow up with them. And there'll be a little more tidbits and insights from my notes that I'll read in a moment, but for now, yeah, first of all, I want other people to see this. That's the whole thing. That helps me. You think it might not. I don't know how. This actually helps when other people see, because the reason is that obviously this woman in this position is clearly wrong. Now, when you have something that objectively shows both sides, what ends up... That's the least normal thing I've seen in a long time. What the fuck? I don't know what drugs they're on here. I've never seen anything like that. Who starts running in front of me when I walk down the street and then they just walk normal again? Yeah, this is modern day living, my friends. Anyway, as we were saying, so the text proceeds on. It then says, hopefully you understand the importance of you doing the right thing. Well, I do, see, and what the right thing is was already indicated extensively in writing and further corroborated. The right thing being what the correct moral framework essentially is. That was corroborated by ChatGPT's extensive analysis, which matched virtually exactly the substantive position I've expressed in texts that we've seen in words and the narration here, and so on and so forth. So here's the thing. So the importance of doing the right thing, and this is what will lead to reconciliation. I don't want to reconciliate with somebody who's doing the wrong thing. You, the wrongdoer, has to earn reconciliation. Has she earned reconciliation? Look at the top to determine whether this is what's sensible, to just re-offend someone in light of what was already said. I can't even find the words. I'm so mind blown. This is going to be a relatively shorter video because this is just such an insult. I'm like shut down in my mind, and she's guilty for bringing me to this emotional state, which is very rare for me. Really, you're just under a burden of the worst karmic kind from heaven. Not good. Let's turn to what I've put together from the notes. Okay, this is kind of a conglomeration of the kind of questions I would have asked her if I had written out all of these in text form as a response to her. This was initially a work in progress and a set of drafts for what I'd be writing to her in response. I decided I'm not even going to write any, I'm not even going to include all this in response. I'm going to talk about it here. It's getting said, and this live speaking of mine constitutes my response to those texts, which she'll be informed of and notified of. That's it. Now, so my questions: where did I agree to such a conditionality? Okay, if we go back to all original other places where she originally indicated for where the these letters are supposed to be given, wasn't it stated without conditionality there clearly? And when she stated in her own texts, roughly paraphrasing, quote, okay, I'm going to have it, I promise it will be done by this weekend. If you examine that full text there, which you can do, go back and find it, there is no conditionality set forth there. That's right, because you defending yourself isn't a conditionality. There's no... Listen, imagine this. If someone arrests you because they accuse you of a crime, now you're in jail and being brought out for a trial. When you're standing there as the defendant in this trial of this case, you can't tell the prosecutors and the judge, okay, listen, I want to make a deal with you right now. You're gonna accept my deal. If you don't accept my deal, then I'm not going to give you my testimony about why I think I'm innocent. Right, okay. So, no deal. And if you're stupid enough to do that, then it only means you're guilty. So how does that help you? This is clown world when dealing with Barbara Winslow. You leave the land of sense, and you come into this strange circus. We continue. It doesn't matter what one person says. It matters what two people agreed to. For example, remember when you unilaterally canceled your coming to the meeting? I raised the issue not because it... even my notes are scrambled up here. I raised the issue, and Anthony did too, because it violated the agreement and understanding that was present. Okay? So there's that example. When you turn over here, we don't have an understanding that's objectively established that I'm supposed to be doing anything morally or otherwise by agreement. It's all made up. You made it up. You're not allowed to just make up whatever you want and then act like that's the law. I made it up and I said so. That's why it's the law. Now you have to do it. Oh, you don't do it, you're bad. No, that doesn't work that way. Okay? So therefore, does this kind of methodology, especially in the context here, not constitute an insult? Of course. Little more needs to be said. Therefore, regardless of what would be done with the videos, it's not the case that you still properly would owe the thing that you indicated and promised. Okay? Where, furthermore, if you don't provide your own letters, it just means you waive your position and you are in default. You've had 3 meetings, 12 months worth of time, and a month and a half of extra time to write these letters that you apparently aren't even serious about enough to... You're playing games. This doesn't look like a serious person. You just look like you're playing games. This is sick. No one respects this. It's disgusting and shameful. Shame on you. Continuing. Okay? So imagine the old creditors in commerce or sovereign citizen type of conditional acceptance. You know what the conditional acceptance would be appropriate for you here? Or appropriate for someone who's in my mom's position here? Sure, I can happily remove the videos, conditioned upon your showing me where it is that I agreed to the understanding or to the condition that the videos would be removed. Can you find that? Did that ever happen? Oh, it didn't? Ah, so therefore you're wrong. And you have no evidence or otherwise moral or legal or substantive rights or powers to sit on this attempted control tactic. It is empty because it's not right. It's bullshit. We continue. Regardless of the above, is it your duty, as the next point in question, is it not your duty as a parent not to essentially adopt a position and manner of approach that's consistent with that approach that was shown within the YouTube video with the rabbi talking? If you've watched these videos in order, which I hope you did, if you're ever watching any of these videos out of order, stop it, don't pause it, stop it. Click the X now. If you haven't seen every video in the list before listening to this, stop it. Click the X, it's not for you. Go back, watch all the videos in order, even if it takes you 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. When you get to the order, you get to this one, then you listen to this. That's the only way that it works with brains like yours, that don't understand how to process life and live life correctly, how to treat people. Actually, it doesn't even matter if you seem to do this out of order or not. Everything, here's another thing that should dawn on everybody, people. It really, in hindsight, just shows fully, like, wow, look at all the extensive volume of stuff I've written over the months via text. Everything that she's seen. It doesn't matter. Nothing. Nothing. It is the same as if I said nothing. Okay. Let's talk to God about that for a second. Hey, God. How do you like it when any woman on earth treats the effect of a man's speech as if he had said nothing when speaking to her and on correct and proper morality representing God's law? I don't think he likes that at all. You might have a karmic problem with him, I bet. with me, you already surely do. I'm the claimant against you. You mistreat me through this kind of abuse. This is the abuse. It's this. Do you understand now? Because you forgot what respect is, huh? You don't deserve respect from me. You're supposed to do what's correct for you. It's amazing. Every single more bit of digging deep and research I do into the moral law and the Christianity, Judaism, all this Judeo-Christian, the more I look, the more it matches with exactly what I came to understand the moment I got the research chemical reprogramming and I opened my eyes 7 years ago. It was all pre-installed magically from heaven, and I just see it all. Walking around saying the truth, nobody gets it, and then I go to the deepest Bible places and I point and say, look, it matches exactly what the highest rabbi said here. How did that happen? You people need to wake up. Next point, given your failure then to adhere to such a moral policy and religious standard of treating your son as outlined in that video, is this not therefore an extremely serious moral violation? Was the essence of that video not running parallel to the New Testament based commandment that you are not to anger your children to the point of wrath? And it even describes in a little further passage exactly why you're not supposed to do that, because it does what? Has the negative and evil and impermissible effect of doing what? Discouraging and disheartening your own children. That means, spiritually, figuratively speaking, as if you took a knife, cut into their heart, and then pulled out their heart from them to dishearten them. That's what you do on a psycho-emotional, spiritual level when you treat me like this. Is this excusable? Or does God say in every relevant place you do not ever do this to your children? Shame on you. As the next point, would I not feel angry then to such an extent now? Oh, in fact, I have. Yeah, you got to see a little bit of that now in the video here. Would I not feel angry to such an extent as a result of the type of response that you've given me here? That type of response here, which further does controvert, which I asked you not to do, but you did it anyway. So you're wrong, so now you're in more trouble. And then you make argumentation, exactly how I told you would not be fit to make over text, which I ask you to honor that space and text line, to not put strife, and instead you put strife. Shame on you. There's the next point. Didn't this mother of mine not actually write to me saying, quote, okay, you do what you want, as if to substantively concede, well, of course, who am I to violate your autonomy, only to then just throw back multiple times days later, again and then again, once again here? Oh no, never mind. You do this. I tell you to do this. You have to do this. You don't do this. Then bad. Garbage. The joke. Therefore, was the reasonable import of what you had not said originally not a concession and an acknowledgement of both the autonomy I have and the wisdom, too, that I have in running this matter the way it's supposed to be run? Oh no, here's Barbara Winslow coming in again to think she's smarter than everybody, so she has to tell everybody what to do. Oh no, you don't get diagnosis in India, you don't go there, you get it here. Yes, dictator God, who the fuck asked you? Nobody. You don't know what the fuck to do. Shut up. If I've been talking to professionals here, and the two people who were working for me both said, one of them especially said, the red tape here doesn't seem to allow this as a possibility. They both were in agreement saying that you should be going to other countries to get this. It'll be much easier. And they're right. And then I wrote to the service to get a medical legal opinion. The doctor in India said, dude, if you were here, I'd get you this no problem. It just seems that in the United States they can't get you what you want. And I know that to be true. All of us doctors know this. So why the hell would I listen to my stupid mother or even value any of the advice that she gives more than the value of zero? Oh, but because my mother said I should get it here, so I'm going to stay home because my stupid retarded mother said I had to get it here. I'd be worthless if I did that. Do you understand? Idiotic. Her expectations are not in alignment with reality, nor are they sensible or reasonable. Get out of here. It's a joke. I'm sick of this. Therefore, is she not guilty here of multiple offenses against me, none of which can be reasonably justifiable? As another critical point, in the event that you were to submit that matter that we're dealing with now here, you were to submit this matter to another person, your own purported witness, because she's implicitly claiming, number one, that I'm falsely accusing her, and that she's somehow right, even though my own witness already intervened on the matter and made his substantive determinations. Okay, so she doesn't honor my witness or me, but she wants to make up her own witness. Okay. Well, if she were to submit that matter to such other person, does she not realize that in order for that person to fairly be able to judge the entirety of the situation, therefore, if she's bringing a matter over to him, that such a person, himself or herself, would have to sit down, and in order to digest both sides, they need to both first hear what she has to say about it, and then secondly, and what does she have to say about it? We don't even know, because she wants to play games with what she's saying. She says nothing of value except to delay, stall, deny, but nothing of value concrete to substantiate anything. But we've seen that clearly, so what the hell's going on? That other person not only has to see her side, but that other person would also have to do what? Also behold my entire position, which is where? Exactly on these YouTube videos. So of course these YouTube videos serve me. So why would I take them down if having them up is exactly the evidence that then you morally are required to go, you have to show this to that person who you go complain to them about me with, falsely complain. You don't get just to say, oh, my son did bad, and here's some notes and I think that's why he's wrong. They're going to say, okay, what does he have to say? Then what's my mom going to do? Oh, well, everything he says is on this playlist that he put on YouTube. Oh, probably before I make a judgment call as a witness, that person would need to say to her, yeah, then I'd need to take a look at all this. Oh, what? It's a few dozen hours? Okay, I'm either a very good friend of yours or you're going to be compensating me at least minimum wage rate for many, many hours of just sitting here listening to audio. Okay, stupid lady. So already none of this makes sense. And then anyone who watches this whole thing up to this point that you've watched to, you already see, oh my God, how does one in my mom's position not realize that this is a hopeless case for one in my mom's position? It's such a blowout. It's not even funny. And it's really not good. Yet my mom has a moral obligation of indicating to that other person exactly where and what the whole side of my own story is from my mouth, where it's posted, that they would have to then go look through these videos in their entirety before they have the right to even begin to make determinations that hold any validity or weight, such as to come up to me or do anything. Moreover, because Anthony is already a prior witness, there's also moral responsibility for that witness to also contact Anthony to get the corroboration from Anthony as to what his own findings were, so that that other witness, the parallel witness, see, this shit never ends. Guys, thank God that you don't have a mother like this. If you had a good mother, hey, God bless you. God blessed you. I don't know what the hell I did in my past life, but I have a mother like this now. So here we are. It's meant to be, I'm sure. We learn so much from it. That's really the benefit. Then I get to open up a freaking school of some kind to preach the doctrine, because I learned it so well, because I had to learn it to defend myself against my insane mother. You see how this works? So God blesses us anyway. Unbelievable. Okay, number 7. Also, there's also another moral problem. Imagine that one of my mom's positions substantively communicates to some other third party witness or whatever in a manner that naturally would substantively it would naturally implicate my character. Okay, well, if I don't behold the nature of that, nor am I given an opportunity to defend myself, or have that person come into awareness of what I'm saying about it, where I obviously have a whole thing publicized, set out as to what my side of this is, that constitutes defamation. It's substantially defamatory in nature, at least substantively so. That's not good karma for you. You gotta be careful. Next, given that it was indicated to you multiple times that you may be blocked, and then you would certainly be blocked after you disregarded that at first time, in the event of you controverting me and taking my peace again, is it not the correct response of mine to block you? Therefore, given the severity of what you've just done, could anyone who understands the full situation here reasonably defend you here? Or are you going to have to get someone to pay them a minimum wage rate to watch through all this? Or to get some close friend? I hope whoever you turn to in order to show the entirety of these videos to can then, upon finishing all these videos, can turn to you so they can wake you the fuck up. Okay? You have a moral sickness as well as possibly, conceivably, some kind of mental sickness or otherwise personality disorder or the traits of this at the very least, for sure, as far as I can tell. A woman in your position, to answer the question that was just posed, should in fact be blocked, exactly as I promised you, because I told you that I would. I have to preserve my peace, and you don't seem to respect this. You seem to only be addicted to challenging me when you're already in the wrong, but you're addicted to just nevertheless trying to stay alive, quote unquote, is not really alive. You're dead on the inside the whole time, is the problem. Not good. As a side note, what kind of normal mother allows herself to somehow become guilty of getting blocked by her own son in the first place? That's a question that should be asked and wondered about, in a manner that, furthermore, isn't unreasonable within context for one in my position to have to resort to blocking you. What kind of mother would even allow the possibility of that to become growing and manifest without checking it or nipping that in the bud, so to speak, which means cutting it and eliminating it before it gets too real? See, only if you have the kind of apparent substantive defect of mind and heart and personality that my mom seems to show, does it become possible for you to just act without any care or regard to such a thing. That's the sickness right there in its effect and how it comes off by form. What would the world think of this all, were they to understand it? I hope they do. Moreover, to this point in time, as I already indicated, one of my mom's position here has not even shown anything that indicates a substantive successful defense of anything about her position. Only a waste of time. She only appears to be narcissistic as far as we can see. The next point. In the event that you were to withhold these letters and replies of yours, how would that be moral? Number one, were you promised them to me? Absolutely. They were not promised by condition. You made that up, in essence, or you're referring to something where you made a separate claim, but none of it adds up, none of it's correct. So it's all just garbage. So why are you acting like you're standing on something solid? It's not good. Okay? Is that right? Obviously not. So, to the very next important point, only a lack of love can allow manifestations of conduct from one in my mother's position. Only a lack of love can allow such manifestations that look exactly like what this looks like here from her to even be possible. Okay? Such lack of love is alarming and has been at the root of all the offenses that she has been guilty of here from the beginning. May it be clearly beheld, the truth of what I've just said, plainly, on the face of the matter and in the deepest sense upon close examination by anyone and everyone who may be looking. Good. Where a man in my position is asserting and explaining actual moral righteousness as validated and corroborated by an objective AI computer model, and she challenges that anyway, it's disgusting. I spit on it. Okay? So this witness of hers, as the next point, is supposed to be inevitably approaching me on the matter as well. So a witness can't make a determination until they give both sides what? Fair opportunity for a hearing. Have I been heard by the witness that you'll be approaching? That's again reinforcing. Either they have to watch all these videos, can't be skipping around. The whole thing needs to happen as if they're you. Either that, or they need to talk to me directly. So where are they? Who are they? I'm assuming I'll be finding these things out. Okay? No such thing as be a mystery witness, secret trial, secret proceedings. We come up with our private judgments about you in private, then we enforce them to your face without an ability for you to defend yourself. That's garbage and moral sickness. God curses that kind of stuff. Watch out. Okay? Furthermore, with a witness that such a person in my mom's position would turn to, that witness would be interested. Well, see, John's accusing her. That person would understand. So they would wonder, so what's my mom got to say about that in her defense? Imagine my mom pulls out all these letters she's kept in her pocket. Oh, I have all these stuff written down here. So they're reading it going, uh-huh. Oh, I see. Let's just assume a crazy universe. It's not this one, but let's say another parallel universe where my mom actually has some excuses and justifications written down that somehow give her the credit that she's right. Amazing. Well, when that witness is reading all that or hearing it, they go, ah, okay, I understand. That's very interesting. Oh, so maybe you're not so wrong then. So why didn't John concede to your position when you explained all of this to him? The same way you just showed these letters to me when you showed him those letters, right? And then you're gonna say, and then the one in my mom's position is gonna say what? Oh no, actually I told him I'm not gonna show him these letters then if he doesn't remove the videos. You see the problem that was created? Because now if they go, okay, well that's, so no wonder he's mad at you, because you yourself screwed yourself. So if you substantively waive your own position to explain yourself, why would your son have to believe you? None of this makes sense. This is circus freak show town. Get it? Wake up. So this also constitutes a problem. That's an offense and an insult against me. None of this makes sense. These are zombie brain people. Shame on you. I mean it with every fiber of my being and every bit of resonance from my soul. I think you're a defective human being. The possibility of such a thing, of you being defective, should be what scares you, not the fact that I'm happening to be telling you this increasingly apparent truth to you. That's not what should scare you. The fact that it may be true, and probably is, should scare you. Now, regarding the next matter of whether or not I have the moral right to proceed with genuinely publicizing this matter, given everything we've analyzed and understood thus far regarding the moral framework, of course, and if I didn't even already have this righteousness now, my mom actually is giving me more of the moral righteousness to do the same thing, even more, because why? Because she's actually representing that she's going to waive her, she's going to be in more default. So she's basically, this is not creditor behavior, as she and I used to like to say to each other many years ago. This is debtor-like behavior. Okay, I'm not going to tell you nothing. I'm going to default. She just keeps signaling, okay, if you don't do things my way, then I'm just going to morally default to you. So go right ahead and default to me, because that's what makes you guilty. That's what makes one in my position win. You don't understand? So this actually must be some kind of subconscious woman brain tactic to actually let the man win, because she doesn't even realize this is what's letting the man in my position win. But her like broken subconscious programming actually is the reason why it's so easy for me to stand here and just keep winning. While she doesn't understand why she's not winning. But she keeps trying to win. It's all insanity. Thank God you people don't have moms like this. That's all I gotta say. All right, and as another point, imagine this too. So obviously in context, it's proper and fully morally and emotionally speaking understandable by this point. For one, in my position, hasn't been heard, hasn't been respected, I've been disrespected repeatedly by her via this kind of course of conduct and treatment, for me to block her. You know what the sick thing is? Imagine this. I guarantee you. In her own head, you know what the narrative would be? Simply, oh no, he blocked me? Oh, that's bad. That's wrong. So therefore, if he blocked me, then he's bad. That's it. All you get is the out of context monster that never seems to die. But that's never the monster you want to preserve any bit of life for. Always keep to death the out of context monster, because that's the core most place of hell in a different kind of way. Truly it is. Okay, so she's guilty of being a bad mother in essence. That's what all of this sums up to as far as is apparent. I mean, I don't know. None of this makes sense. How would anything that she's doing ultimately benefit her? It doesn't. It just reminds me of what Professor Sam Vaknin already said. Narcissists aren't selfish. Or someone else may have said this, actually, possibly the rabbi. Narcissists aren't selfish. A different rabbi. If someone's selfish, they do what makes sense for them, sensibly. The narcissist doesn't have the ability to do that. They only think they're doing something sensible for themselves, but while they're doing that, they're actually screwing both you and themselves all together, just like the scorpion from the Frog and Scorpion story, trying to cross the water. This is the same shit. So, we all have to die and drown now, because stupid idiot doesn't know how to fucking live morally correct. Too bad. So you're ostracized, therefore. I want nothing to do with you. I don't want reconciliation for the mere sake of reconciliation, where the price is to make concessions that are neither right nor moral for a man in my position to make. I'd rather that you pay the price of being ostracized, and also that you are fully seen for how and what you really are by the greater world and community around us, than for me to allow you to have some kind of essentially false reconciliation because I listened and bent to the will of the emotional abuser of this situation, which is you, and a non-repentant narcissistic person. Why would I do that? Why would I ever want something like this? If you're the one who's wrong because you dared to produce offense and feed it towards and launch it in my direction, when you do that, the price is that you fully pay when you remain completely, absolutely non-repentant. No other possibility is possible. That's it. It's like that video with the girl with the button and killing the kitty. It's like, okay, don't kill the kitten. All you have to do, you get $500 if you don't kill the kitten. Women don't understand. They're designed to test everything. They're like Satan. If you say don't disrespect, because that's wrong, they're going to see how far they will get away with disrespecting you, and then they have to be hurt by the situation. And then at the first moment of consequence, then they learn experientially, this is where the boundary is. They don't learn because you told them. That would be respecting you. Why would any woman respect? Only if they're reborn again to honor God are they reawakened to understand how to love in the true exalted way that God allows you to. When you don't really have that awakening, you're a fake Christian, fake Judeo-Christian embodiment, and a fake good person is not good, actually. Only the kind of woman who is consistent with the type of framework that the pastor, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, very aptly describes in his videos. That's it. It's so obvious that the one in my mother's position is the one who naturally would or ought to want for those redeeming qualities, if any, regarding her excuses and defenses and justifications and all this, to be understood by anyone generally who's ever accusing her of anything ever. That's a general rule of life that holds true for everybody. Are you people crazy? Oh, she is, in essence. Okay, so not defending yourself means you don't contest or challenge my position. You see the problem with that? It's not smart lady, you. If you don't show what your basis is, it means you don't contest or challenge my position or my accusations with any substantiation that you give from your own side. Where you don't do that, then that means you're guilty and you admit or default to the fact that you are guilty without a challenge. And if there's no substantiation in support of any of your empty denials, which they have been empty, and false implications about me that aren't correct, more offenses, I hope God gives you the karmic crunch on that too, then not only are you guilty, but you literally have taken, through this whole story now that we've looked at over the past 40 or so videos, you've taken the most crooked, longest, unnecessarily offense-laden, and ultimately most dishonorable route to ultimately just be found in default anyway. It's absolutely insane. The most crooked and strange route than anyone can ever imagine. You're literally doing everything that's the opposite of correct at every single turn. It's like waking up, instead of saying good morning, you say good night. It's bizarro world, as they say. Okay? It doesn't harm one in my position if you callously and senselessly withhold your own supposed defenses and basis of what constitutes some of your own justifications. Withholding such a thing harms you, because you appear to not only waive what would amount to a substantive hearing opportunity for yourself, but you also appear to be simply playing some kind of game here. So the consequences of this will be yours to have. Where your crazy bullshit drives people crazy, such people who should be instead receiving much better treatment and consideration from one in your position as a mother, cutting you off gives me peace. Where all you get is to more fully appear to anyone looking at this matter as unreasonably selfish, senseless, crazy, and morally corrupt, and a bad mother. Man does not abide by the direction of woman, particularly one who is overtly and plainly wrong, too. Furthermore, man following woman when woman is wrong is the creation and the preservation of a state of living hell on earth and within that man's life. So why would he sign up for that on purpose? Like I told you many times before, a man would rather be dead or be suffering and be leading to death than to be living in a hell consisting of indignation. He'd rather die with his dignity than live while on his knees. So that's the part that you're going to learn once and for all. Okay? You're going to pose or assert that to me that... Here's the other last point or so that's also very ironic. A woman in my mother's position is going to state to me, or pose to me, or assert to me that, as she wrote earlier, as we recall from one of those texts of hers, that, well, see, I will not be watching any more of those YouTube videos. So she says that to me, that she won't be watching videos, but at the other side of her mouth, she is going to assert that I somehow here am supposed to be interested in and bending over backwards in order to get to behold what it is that she supposedly would have an interest in conveying to me regarding these letters of hers, So she's not going to do anything for me, but I have to do all these things for her, right? Does that all either make sense? It's all nuts. Wake up, zombies. I'm at peace to just finally let this go.